Colonial Drive about a man who was wearing a ski mask who was attempting to steal merchandise from the Walmart. The man had declared martial law, appeared to be armed with a knife, and also made comments about a gun, and then left the store. Our deputy responded. He encountered the man on East Colonial Drive wearing a ski mask and pushing a shopping cart full of merchandise from the Walmart. The deputy gave the man numerous commands to stop. The man did not comply with those commands, and our deputy was able to use his taser, which did not have any effect on the man. Shortly after that, our deputy can be heard saying, "Don't reach, don't reach, don't reach," 3 times, and then our deputy fires his service weapon at the suspect, striking him several times. Our deputies were able to handcuff the man, provide first aid. He was transported to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries, and there were 2 knives located at the scene of the arrest. So the Florida Department of Law Enforcement will investigate the shooting. They will turn their findings over to the state attorney's office. Once that review is complete, we will conduct our own internal investigation. So I've reviewed the body-worn camera footage, the video footage from within the Walmart, and also the 911 tape. We have identified the man as Jason Anthony Beal, 48 years old. He's being charged with armed robbery with a deadly weapon and resisting an officer with violence. So Beal also has an extensive criminal history throughout multiple counties in the state of Florida. Most recently, he was arrested by the Orlando Police Department for aggravated battery with a deadly weapon in a stabbing in that jurisdiction. He was released from the jail after 33 days on his own recognizance. So happy to take any questions.
Orange County Sheriff John Mina laying out what we know about that situation last night. And as I mentioned, this is the second case in a week now where we've seen a shoplifting suspect who has been shot by deputies, one in Osceola County and then the one last night in Orange County. Joining us live now to talk about this is James Copenhaver, a former sheriff's detective and investigator, and one of our law enforcement experts who joins us here on Fox 35 News Plus. And Jamie, we appreciate you joining us today.
Good to be with you, Garrett. Thank you.
James, it's the second time in a week now that we've heard, obviously different circumstances, different cases, but twice now in a week that we have seen cases of what seem to be pretty brazen shoplifting cases. What do you make of this?
Yeah, let's talk about the latter case here in Orange County. The sheriff just spoke on the press conference. Multiple commands given by deputies to that suspect. He had a mask on. Talking about martial law. So it certainly sounds like the mental capacity may have been triggered, and he may be on the spectrum, right? But nevertheless, 2 knives were recovered from that. The takeaway from that, they gave multiple commands, utilized less lethal force with that taser, but he continued to reach for something. One can only suggest one of those knives that he had in his possession.
And you can see the investigators had said that they believed he had a cart that was full of items, and you saw it in a shot there just a second ago. We know that shoplifting is something that we have we've heard over the past few years has just continued to be a growing problem for retailers. And now this is 2 really high-profile incidents in the past week here in our area that kind of shows what's happening. I mean, you can kind of see the cart there. There are a lot of items there.
Yeah, I mean, it was stacked full, right? Had a Bluetooth speaker in it, so it wasn't like he was going in there for food. Maybe down on his luck, et cetera, and just needed to go in and steal some food for him or his family. I mean, a Bluetooth speaker, it certainly sounded like he had a shop-a-thon, Garrett, within the Walmart confines. And then, the only thing about it is he didn't pay for those items and fled that store without paying. Luckily, the sheriff's office had deputies nearby that responded to that call in a quick fashion and was able to engage him right outside of the Walmart in the driveway, if you will.
little bit different than the circumstances of the incident last week in Osceola County. We'll show some video for that because we did, this one happened inside the store. A teenager was shot and killed in that. They said, investigators said that he was armed. We know there were other suspects as well that investigators had searched for, but this certainly seems like are we seeing an escalation in tactics when it comes to shoplifting? I mean, this isn't someone walking in and sliding things across a self-scan checkout and throwing it in a bag and trying to get away with it. It seems.
Yeah, I mean, it's, stereotyping. You think of a shoplifter, someone hiding items under their coat and, kind of concealing those items and slipping out the door without paying them, right? Or even the self-checkout line, you'll, do one for me and two for you, right? Here's the deal. These shoplifters are brazen. Garrett, the viewers need to understand, it's a multi-billion-dollar problem nationwide with theft or retail theft. Many of these stores, to include Walmart, has undercover people that are looking for shoplifters, right? So we've heard these stories in the past where a shoplifter will run out of the store and be tackled by, perhaps an employee from the store, a guest that's shopping there. We've seen a couple people ran over. We've actually seen a few shootings over the years, but it certainly appears in the last week here with these two latest ones, both of them had weapons. So very concerning. The teenager that was, was fatally shot and killed certainly was armed. So, you've got to know your surroundings, know your exit points, because it's quite dangerous in these retail spaces for these hoodlums that come in and try to take advantage of the good people.
That has to be concerning. You mentioned, we know there are loss prevention officers and security at many of these stores, but it has to be concerning to see cases